What is happening in the craft industry? And I'm here back on the serious couch. Completely give up one huge aspect of their business, have been the heartbeat of 143 Vinyl. There is a shift in the craft industry. The biggest shock for me personally. Y'all, here we are. And I'm calling this the serious couch. And I'm here back on the serious couch because we need to have a serious talk. Because there have been a lot of things in the craft industry happen in the last few weeks. From the top, we have had an acquisition of an beloved HTV brand that leaves me asking more questions than answers. I have seen a company that we here on this channel have supported for years completely give up one huge aspect of their business. We are seeing cutting machines that are either no longer being sold. There's questions about, are they going to be sold? What is going on? And there are big retailers that are picking over the bones of some small craft industry names. So that leaves me asking the question, what is happening in the craft industry? Are we fixing to see a collapse? Is this just change? Either way, it leaves me with so many more questions than answers. And today, we're gonna talk about everything that's happening and what you need to know and realize going forward in the craft world. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. Number one, which has been the biggest shock for me personally, and I really don't know how I missed this, and I don't think it has been widely broadcasted to a lot of people, but Siser North America, our beloved Siser Easy Weed, you heard that right, they got bought out. I'm gonna let that sit for a minute, because when I first heard that, I was like, no, not happening. But I'm here to tell you that yes, it is true. Siser did get bought out by another company, Stahls specifically. Now, I'm all about transparency, and I'm here to tell you guys, transparency, I had never heard of Stahls. You would think, me being part of a company that is huge in the craft industry, that I should know about them. Well, guys, I'm here to tell you that I didn't. But a quick brief rundown. Stahls has been around for years, decades, long time, and are honestly pretty big when it comes into heat transfer vinyl, things like that. And honestly, from what I have read and learned, they kind of got started years ago when it came to putting patches and stuff on jerseys. That is kind of, from my understanding, where they got their start, and have just since grown and changed and evolved from there. So they are for sure an established name in the heat transfer industry. They also have equipment, heat presses, and y'all, that may be where we need to go for our next heat press. I don't know. Anyway, back to the buyout of Siser. So long story short, Stahls started partnering with Siser back in November of 2025. So they started selling Siser heat transfer vinyl on their website in November of last year. Now, since then, what has happened is they have bought Siser out. So the two companies already had a relationship, and I'm gonna link at the article that I found down below for you all to read over, so that, you know, I want you all to see the sources that I got. But they already had a relationship. Last November, they became an official distributor of Siser HTV products. So really and truly, what they are viewing this as is this is just the next phase of their relationship, and they are going to allow Siser to keep operating under their name. So Siser is not going to lose the Siser name. They are just kind of being bought out by a parent company. And what this article, and I'll go ahead, like I said, I will link this article for you all, but I just want to show you, here is the article. It says that Siser will continue to operate under its own name while collaborating with Stahls on innovation, customer support, and global growth. So what the CEO of Stahls said in this article, Carleen Gray, she says, the next phase of our relationship with Siser allows us to focus on innovation and helping decorators succeed. So although this is news that absolutely took the breath out of me, I was like, no, I can't lose them. I do think that it can be good for us moving forward because now Siser has access to all of the different resources that Stahls has, and Stahls has all of these resources, and they can combine their imagination, innovation, all of that together to bring us as the at-home crafters what we truly need to be successful with our, whether it's a business that we're running or we're just doing this for ourselves. I really think that I'm going to frame this as a good thing from here moving forward. Now, I will say the terms of the sale, they were not disclosed. I was not able to find that. I don't know how much Siser was bought out for, but I can tell you and confirmed it was announced on July 15th that they were bought out by Stahls. So is the future of Siser uncertain? I don't think it is. I think that this is just a path forward. I think that this is a path that's going to help us in the long run. It's just going to be a little different from here out. So another point that I do want to add, which is very interesting to me on the Stahls website, and this is something that I saw. So when you go to, you know what? I'm just going to turn you around. Let me turn you around so I can show you. So when you are at the Stahls website, when you go up here to HTV and material, and then you come over here to the heat transfer vinyl, when you are looking at this, first of all, you have your Ultra Weed, which is, I'm assuming, what they have had. But I want to show you where they had said that Siser was still going to operate under their name. Tell me why that just says Easy Puff Glitter and not Siser Easy Puff Glitter. Easy Weed Electric, but not Siser Easy Weed Electric. And all of these that are new are all Siser vinyls, but none of them say Siser on them. UV Shift, new. The soft foam and soft flock, I don't remember Siser having that. And I do have the Siser website, but then we have just regular Easy Weed, but it doesn't say Siser Easy Weed. I'm not seeing Siser's name on the Stahls website. Do with that information as you will. I'm just giving you what I'm seeing. So now let's talk about the second thing that also very much kind of like shocked me to my core when it comes to the craft industry. And y'all, this is about a company that we have supported here on our channel for literal years. We have partnered with them, we have worked very close with them, and there is a good chance if you're watching this video, you have also purchased from them before. And that is 143 Vinyl. I'm just gonna take a minute and I'm going to read this post that they have posted on their Facebook group or on their Facebook page. And this was from July 28th. Here's the post. Yes, I took a screenshot of it. You can get on Facebook and look, but I did take a screenshot of it. So, dear 143 family, since the very beginning, your creativity and support have been the heartbeat of 143 Vinyl. Today we are thrilled to share some big news as we take an exciting step into the future. To best serve you and focus on what we do best, 143 Vinyl is officially transitioning to exclusively offer DTF transfers. While it is bittersweet to say goodbye to our current inventory of vinyl, blanks, glitter, paint, and tools, dedicating 100% of our focus to DTF transfers means we can deliver faster turnaround times, superior quality, and more innovative solutions for your projects. Important dates and details. August 2nd. We're past the 2nd. The last day to grab our traditional crafting supplies, vinyl, blanks, and tools. Stock up now before they are gone for good. I'm gonna let that sink for a minute. Because once again, if you have been a fan of, if you've been a viewer here at Makers Gonna Learn for any time whatsoever, you know that our favorite brand of permanent vinyl has been StarCraft Vinyl. Another layer to this, StarCraft Vinyl is owned by 143 Vinyl, which says to me that is StarCraft Vinyl also not going to be sold? And if so, where can we get it? Because it truly is some of the best vinyl, permanent vinyl on the market. We absolutely adore it here in our studio. So, couple things that I do want to show you. It said 143 was no longer offering. I thought that I looked on the website earlier today and I thought that I saw that they still had heat transfer vinyl and regular vinyl and paint. I think I'm more sad about the paint because they had the best ivory chalk paint that I have ever used in my life. I was gonna show you that maybe it's there, but y'all, it's not. It's literally just DTF and sublimation. And another thing, look at that logo up there in the top. It's no longer 143 vinyl. It's just 143. This is really hard. This is really hard for me because we have loved 143. So now we are gonna be in the market for a new, I guess, new favorite vinyl brand. I do want to really, let me check. Okay. So I did just check on one of our other supplier, or one of our other places that we purchase from quite often, and that is Vinyl and Tool Supply. They do still have StarCraft Vinyl on Vinyl and Tool Supply. Okay, so the good thing about it though, I will say this, it doesn't look like StarCraft is going, after a little more deep diving and a little more digging, it doesn't look like StarCraft Vinyl is going to be completely gone. If you go to the actual StarCraft Vinyl website, you can't purchase from the StarCraft Vinyl website, but you can find other suppliers. So Atlanta Vinyl, there's a whole list. Vinyl and Tool Supplies on there. There is so many different smaller suppliers and probably some local ones to you all. I would definitely go on there. If you love StarCraft Vinyl as much as we do, I would definitely get on there and look to see if there is a local supplier to you, to see if you can purchase, or if you can purchase any of these online, either one. So it does look like there is still places that sell StarCraft Vinyl. So just because 143 Vinyl, which they also own StarCraft, it's a big thing. It doesn't look like StarCraft is going out of business, but 143 we can no longer purchase from 143. So that lends me to my next, why would they do this? Why are they changing? Why are they shifting? If you want my honest opinion, I think that's because that's where the market is telling them that where the money is at. So instead of them doing 12 different things, they are focusing on the one place that is bringing them the most bang for their buck, and that is with DTF transfers and printing those off and sending them to you. That is where the money is at right now. That is the, if you want to coin it, the gold rush of the craft industry and suppliers. That's kind of where we stand, which leads me kind of transitioning to my third point and talking about Cricut, because there have been some huge changes in Cricut as well. And y'all, there's a lot to talk about there. So if you didn't see, I posted a video a little bit ago talking about Cricut and how they are also now offering DTF transfers, because like I said a while ago, right now, if you want to coin it a gold rush, you can. But DTF in the crafting industry is the newest, most innovative way to make apparel, and that is where the money is at. So we are seeing companies, suppliers shift their focus into that, and Cricut is one of them. So they quietly launched their DTF transfer. I think they were not very loud and open about it, but they quietly launched that because they see where the money is being made. And I think that they are trying to make up for lost income in other places, which we will also talk about. So their DTF film was their first, I guess, service-based launch that they have done when they are a company who is known for their product and their cutting machine. I think in reality, it is all because what we are seeing is in Q2 of 2026, and this is all public knowledge, revenue for Cricut was at $156.3 million, which is down 9% year over year. And that is quite a large gap for closing out Q2. And the biggest indicator here is that their product, their hardware, that revenue is down 22%. That is an insane number. So that is down by 22%. But guess what? Their platform or subscription is up 5% this year. So what I'm seeing is their machines are no longer selling, which is why you are seeing the Cricut Venture as a $450 purchase now, when it used to be, I say used to be, 2 years ago when we first bought it, because it was only launched 2 years ago, it was over a $1,000 machine. So in that short of a time, it has gone from over $1,000 to $450. It's because people are no longer buying die cut machines. And honestly, that's a little bit scary, especially for us as a company when Maker's Gonna Learn in general is built on die cut crafters. To see that, it is like shocking. So what Cricut is doing is they are changing, they are evolving just like everyone else is. Because their actual machine or product hardware sales is down 22%, they are now offering services like DTF. They are also incorporating, I don't know if you all saw this, they are launching Cricut patterns. And that was announced the 3rd of this month, the 3rd of August, that they are now giving you over 850 premium crochet and knitting patterns from independent designers. But here's the thing. You don't have to have a Cricut machine to do any of that. So what I'm seeing is they are in the process of transforming themselves from a product-based like software or a product-based industry into more of a creativity platform. They are completely, I really truly think that Cricut is in the process of rebranding completely. They are just doing it slowly. They are doing it a piece at a time. And I feel like they are going to be shifting away from die cutting as much. They are going to use that as a leg of their business. But I truly feel like Cricut is shifting, and we are starting to see that shift. We have speculated laser machines. We have speculated embroidery machines. We have speculated so many different things with Cricut, but now we are seeing it. We are seeing this change happen. And I think that they are moving to more of a subscription-based service. Some other additions that Cricut has added to their platform, I guess you could call it, they're wanting to rebrand it as a creativity platform. They have introduced AI into Cricut Design Space. You now have your AI project designer that helps you, and you can create your own images inside Cricut Design Space. So what the data is telling me, hardware sales are down 22%, subscriptions are up by 5%, and we are seeing Cricut quietly release these new tools. My honest opinion, they may not come out with a lot of new cutting machines in the future, and it may be a shift from a machine-focused business to a platform-focused business with machines that will supplement what you are doing inside the platform. And honestly, we all have to change and evolve. If you've been here around the channel, you know even us here at Maker's Gonna Learn, we are also changing and evolving. Because if we don't change and evolve, guess what? We die as a company. And that's for everyone. If you do not change and evolve, then your company is going to be left behind and it is going to die. So does it scare me that Cricut sales are down? I mean, maybe a little bit, but like I said, I do feel like there is a shift in the craft industry, and Cricut is just going along with that. Now, my last point that I want to talk about that has completely changed is the fact that these retail companies are also changing. Y'all, there is change. It's not just the small companies. Yes, it is the smaller companies, but it goes all the way up the food chain when we're talking about the craft industry. all the way up to Michael's, Hobby Lobby, all of this, everything is changing. And it kind of all started with the bankruptcy of Joann's. So just like Cricut changing and evolving, Maker's gonna learn changing and evolving. 143 had to change and evolve. Siser had to change and evolve. Everyone is changing and evolving, and that leaves no one out, but leads me to my next point. What happens when it's not a vendor that is changing and evolving, but a huge, giant retail chain store? And y'all, that is exactly what is happening here too. So let's take it back to when Joann's closed. Our hearts were shattered. I don't know about you guys, my heart was shattered when Joann's closed, because Joann's was one of those places that maybe I didn't frequent as much, but I adored Joann's as a craft store, especially a fabric store. They truly just had the best. So we all know that they quickly closed over 500 Joann's stores because of bankruptcy in May of 2025. That is old news. However, what is new news is that Michael's is now kind of trying to completely take over. They are coming in because they are a private equity brand that can move faster because they are not publicly traded. So what is now happening is Michael's has now taken over and bought out all of Joann's intellectual property. So now what this means is Michael's is selling more fabric. They have those brands that Joann, and if you want my honest opinion, I think they are trying to be the number one top stop for crafters like me and you. I think they are trying to overtake Hobby Lobby in the craft space. And here's why. Because this is not new news. This has been old news. Hobby Lobby bought out a lot of Bed Bath & Beyond. When Bed Bath & Beyond closed, they bought out all of that dead stock. That's why you've been seeing a lot more home stuff, a lot more kitchen stuff inside Hobby Lobby. And I think that Michael's saw that as an opportunity because Hobby Lobby might be moving more into like the decor, home goods, stuff like that. I think that Michael's saw an opportunity to completely take over the craft side of things, and they are now trying to be the number one-stop shop for crafters. So is this good for crafters? It's a toss-up. It could mean that there is now a one-stop shop where we find everything we need under one roof, but it can also be bad for us because that means there is less competition and they can do whatever they want with their prices. If they don't have any other competitors, they can jack up the prices if they want, if that's the only place that we can get our hands on it other than ordering it. So I don't know, it's kind of a toss-up. I'm going to choose to look at it as a positive thing because if you want me to be honest, I just try to look at everything in life, like try to see things, the positive side of things. Otherwise, we get weighed down by negativity so much. So I'm going to choose to look at that as a positive. So we've talked about a lot, but when we pull all of these things together, what does it truly mean for the craft industry? If you want my honest opinion, I don't think the craft industry is collapsing. I don't think the craft industry will ever collapse. We are always going to want to create with our hands. As human beings, that's what a lot of us are drawn to. So we're always going to want to create. And because of that, there is always going to be a craft industry, a place for us to get the things that we need to create with our hands. However, I will say this, it may not be collapsing, but the craft industry is consolidating. So, what consolidation means for people like you and I? It just means that we're gonna have fewer options of places to go purchase, which once again, like I said, could be a good or a bad thing, meaning we don't have to go to this place to get this place to get that thing. We don't have to go everywhere. We can go to a one-stop shop. The bad part about this, like I said, is that just means there is less competition for pricing, and they can price their stuff at whatever they want if that is the only place to get it. Now, I'm not saying that all of these places are closing because they're not. We're just seeing indications of 143 quit no longer selling vinyl, Siser getting bought out. Honestly, guys, it's a trend. it's a trend. So where do you need to go, or what do you need to do from here? If you love a specific product or vendor, don't assume that they're gonna be there forever. I honestly assumed that 143 Vinyl would sell vinyl forever. But like we said, to change and to keep up with the times, people and companies and vendors have to evolve. That's what they're doing. The next thing that it means for us is obviously DTF is not a fad. It is here to stay. DTF is going nowhere. And we can see that because a huge chunk of the industry is transitioning and switching over to either only offering DTF or at least offering DTF as one of their ways of making money. So DTF, y'all, it's here to stay. It's not going anywhere. And another thing that it means is just, honestly, we need to expect fewer smaller vendors from here forward, because it's like I said, it's not collapsing, it is consolidating, and it is changing. Once again, just like we have done here at Makers Gonna Learn, we are changing, we are evolving. We are now offering tools inside of our membership that we have never offered before, because to stay alive, you have to change and adapt. We and everyone else is doing. So let me know in the comments what you guys think about these changes, these transitions. What was the one that is the most shocking to you? What are some changes and things that you have seen in the craft industry that we maybe missed? Let me know in the comments down below. Y'all, once again, I may have gotten you with that title. The craft industry is not collapsing, but it is changing. And y'all, change is here. If you've enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to our channel, and hit that bell notification so that you can stay up to date on all of the news going on in the craft industry. And we're not gonna stop crafting here at MGL. We're gonna continue crafting. So if you still want to create like never before, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell notification so that you can be notified every single time we get crafty. Thank you guys for being here. We'll see you all in the next one. Bye, guys.